Hi, book talk lady here, and I'm ready to read. So get ready, get cozy, and let's get reading, okay? Today we're reading Rosie Revere, Engineer. This is by Andrea Beaty, and it's illustrated by David Roberts. Now, when I read this book, it inspired me to make my own invention, and I'm so proud of it. So, don't you go anywhere. I'll show you what I made. I'm gonna go get it now, okay? Just 1 second. This is my new invention. It's called the cheddar header. You get it because I have cheddar crackers and they're on my head. So I can take my snack with me wherever I go. It's wonderful. I get hungry a lot. So now I always have it with me. I'm still working the kinks out though. Anywho, let's get started. So this is Rosie Revere, Engineer. Look at that. It's amazing. This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer's stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in a hideaway under the eaves. Oh, just building all kinds of stuff. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under her bed where they'd never be seen. I wonder why she's doing that. Doesn't she want people to see her amazing inventions just like this one? When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser, and helium pants. Those were amazing. I would love some helium pants. The uncle she loved most was zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head. From parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away. I didn't know that. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud. But Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed, and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. I love it, Fred hooted out. Truly, I do. But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of a shelf, and after that day, kept her dreams to herself. That makes me anxious, and when I'm anxious, I need to eat. It makes me so. Who's stealing my crackers? Who's stealing my crackers? I haven't worked all the kinks out yet. Let's continue. And that's how it went until one autumn day. Her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great Aunt Rose was a true dynamo who had worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dreams. So she's never gonna get to fly? That makes me sad. Oh. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky, and some hold on tight. And this one kept Rosie awake through the night. Soon, when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. Oh, that's great. Now she's going to make her aunt fly now, I hope. Okay. She worked and she worked till the day was half gone. Then hauled her cheese copter out onto the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. I hope it's not a flop. It looks amazing. Hope it works. Let's see. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The hella cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. So it was up for a little bit, you know. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever or switch or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." This is so sad. I get so anxious when I'm reading things like this. Excuse me. She turned round to leave, but then great Aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next." Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. "I failed," said dear Rosie. "It's just made of trash." "Didn't you see it? The cheese copter crashed." "Yes," said her great aunt, "it crashed. That is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew." She didn't even realize it wasn't a failure because it did what it was supposed to do, right? Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. Always remember that. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rosie tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. And it says we can do it because we can. We can make anything we set our minds to, even cheese hats. Cheddar headers. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too, with which perfect failure they all stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. That is such a good book. Yeah, Rosie. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. She makes all kinds of stuff. Look, they made a little helicopter. It's like a little cheese copter. I don't know if it's made out of cheese, but it would be wonderful if it was, right? But this little helicopter, and her aunt got up in the helicopter. Okay, and that, my friends, was Rosie Revere, engineer. Now, until next time, I think we will just need to go and make the greatest inventions ever. And I'll see you next time when we do another book moment. Bye.